Okay, so today lecture is lecture 10 of week 10. Today we're going to talk about the machine learning tools in the healthcare decision making. As you remember that last class we talked about the clinical decision support system, right? So those decision support system nowadays, as I mentioned, that several organizations who are providing to this CDS system, and this are using to the machine learning or advanced artificial intelligence models. So how and what machine learning models can be help us to making some decisions, help in the healthcare related things. So today we're going to talk about those some machine learning models or machine learning tools or algorithms that can be helps to be to us or to be organizations, hospitals, to doctors, to patients can be make some decisions. So let's see what's this. So these are the content reference books where we are providing, and so this is a prologue about this class. So as we know, machine learning algorithms are unexpectedly developing in dynamic studies of machine learning imaging. Currently, there is a great efforts or advanced for the enrichment of machine learning images, machine images, packages, and the use of those algorithms, use of machine learning, those means machine learning algorithms to diagnose the mistakes with disorder, diagnostic structure, which may also bring about the extraordinarily ambiguous medical treatment. So learning of this objective, we have this class will provide the brief knowledge about to the machine learning algorithms or vital methods for the healthcare decision making, then helps for the decision making in healthcare systems. So this week we provide brief idea about machine learning algorithm, multiple machine learning algorithm in a present digital healthcare environment, and in particular like specifically we go for that supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, ANN, some such approaches. So how can be machine learning techniques helps to for the unique for investigating clinical system, clinical images, and it makes those system approaches more, to be more effective and easy accessible for the users maybe healthcare stakeholders. So it makes us make use of the supervised and unsupervised algorithm, the use of the few particular well-known data set to suggest for the predictions. So keywords of this class is machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised, healthcare decision making things. Let's see, these are our contents. We're gonna be talk about that healthcare decision making. We just gonna give the brief idea because last class we already talked in the very depth about this healthcare decision making. So we just reviewed about to what is the meaning of this healthcare decision making. Then we talk about machine learning approaches, what kind of approaches is there. We can go for the sub approaches, supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and some other machine learning approaches can whose help for to our this healthcare decision making. And at last we're going to summarize this our class. So this healthcare system, healthcare decision making, that is a computational decision making, is in the healthcare sector the help of detecting, predicting disease image analysis like so on. So this decision making is the like this computational images are providing to the detecting the predicting the disease, detecting the treatment, detecting the image analysis, analyzing those things. For example, when considering the current situations, so that has then arise in the COVID-19 pandemic. Now we go for the front of standing those COVID-19 treatment has happened with the stay away from that thing. So they can be helpful to computational problems, to what type of issues there. So they are using machine learning based decision making in the healthcare sectors. So such time is effective and very effective things. This is the reason why there is a demand for the area of emergency machine learning in the present world because of this like COVID situations arisen. So because of it can be emergency situation is done, right? Multiple peoples or so things are affected with that thing. So same time, how can we detect doctors and those things, patient clinical stuff, they have taken a lot of time, and also they have affected by their health also. So they can be use this emergency machine learning is required to be improved those things. So this machine learning, the artificial intelligence is the set of, is providing to the set of issues. So like artificial intelligence is set to make transformation by playing on the important role in this healthcare system. Therefore, there are few critical issues, like few ethical aspects, as well as that need to be considered when implementing such system that obtaining the decision from them. So few of the ethical issues are the accountability and transparency for the decision made by such systems, such machines, and the potential for the group harms arising from the algorithmic biases and professionals' roles, and the integrity of the clinicians. So AI create with the more efficient healthcare system by the high and accurate computational power of artificial intelligence and the considerable low cost things. So there are two distinct ways can be measured with this to reach this healthcare decision making. First, fast and intuitive approach, which uses the underlying clinical pattern recognitions and is typically used in the medical emergencies. Third, we have second, we have to the slow and reasoned method to detective about to the these issues. So these are like detective, slow and reasoned method, and detective. This is deliberate and needs greater intellectual time and cost informations. So like these are the higher possibilities to being erroneous and provide the incomplete perceptions. So the in the fast, that is fast intuitive approach has some issues like which has giving the fast pattern recognition, just finding the pattern recognition and giving the typical use for the medical emergency. So that type of approach has some issues also. So they have a higher possibility of being erroneous and provide the incomplete perceptions. Maybe something missing because of doing some fast processing, right? Issues. So they had introduced the second issues, that is the slow and reasoned method and detective. They providing to the more slow and more effective output of that things. But this decision made the more slow is a slow and is take a time taking process. But another way it is the more giving the more accurate result compared to the fast and intuitive the approach. So as all these decisions are based on the data, so that are being collected, analyzed, and stored in the complex and heterogeneous form. And it is important to use algorithmic approaches to minimize the computing power required. So here we talk about the algorithmic approaches. Algorithmic approach means we have provided to method how to do some analyzing, how to do this storing and collecting. This all have some steps. So those method, step by step process, have defining that is called the algorithmic method. So machine learning application have currently contribute massively to help healthcare sector worldwide to improve its quality and will continue to do so. Things. So that is all these decisions are based on the data that are being collected and analyzed. We talk about that. It is important to use algorithmic approaches to minimize the computing power and required. Machine learning application have currently contribute and massively healthcare sectors worldwide things. So this AI algorithms have the capacity to perform the computerized and predictive analysis by the filtering, ordering, searching for the patterns from the big data sets and from the multiple sources to provide the fast and informed decisions. So this is the most you can say that like most things like most jurisdiction do not allow directly applying this algorithm to make the final decision, but instead use them to as a aid of the diagnosis or as a help of the making some decision. So their results think using for to the health of the decisions. So like in present context, to like instead of the as we talk about to the health of the system. So like how to this work? How to this AI system work in the situation thing? So here you can see they have institution or organizations and they have a hospital database. So they have collect the data, community health services database, public health agencies database, and other databases. So they are providing to data to the system. They collecting the data collections, doing the filtering. Filtering means they have doing filtered the data means they filter the data in the correct form. What as a form we can go for the testing, go for the analysis purpose. Because there is a lot of we storing the data, right? Data means there is a lot of mix match. Mix match means they have lot of things. So they have providing those data to classify to the which disease data is the which data are related with some particular disease. For example, some which data is related with the COVID, which data related with the cancer, which data related with the headache, which data related with the stomach ache, like that type of thing. So related those we have to filtering the data. We can classify the data according to their features, things. Second things we going to define the data definition. Data definition is when we collected the data, do the filtering data, then we define that okay, this data has from the stomach, inside of stomach there is a data is more focused about the instantine problem, more specific definitions about the data, those related data. And third, we had talked about data strategy. Data strategy is provide to the collecting the data and make some strategy how to going to evaluate those data. In the instantine data, how to go for the like stomach data, how to go for the some kidney problems data, how we going to be make the some strategy, make the plan, how to evaluate, how to analyze those collected data things. And the third, we have to go for the data evolutions. So first when we have make the strategies and going to use those data, so those data gonna be evaluate by the analyzing things. What data has the differences between the general normal things. So there is what type of issues has happened, those things. So that is done by some institution, some organization or some laboratories, that things. So here we can see this data collection and filtering. It is called from the data sharing or service providers things. They collect from the data sharing. Data gonna be shared with the service providers, all things. And data presentation. Then second level data definition. They have finding the data analysis. Data analysis, as we talk about that, which data is belong to which part of your body. So in the health related issues. So data analysis going to analyze those things and provide the data presentations. And those data representation is also shareable with the can be shared with the service providers. And then we have to data evolution. Data evolution is going to store in the data base based on that relational data and NoSQL data, cluster data, whatever the methods, whatever data servers we are using to whatever data management based servers we are using to managing those data. So we had collected those data evolution results from in the database, and those are going for the data governance. And there is someone who has data governance, who is authorized to govern or own the data, and according to their things, they can delete the data, they can calculate the data, and those are all part of those things. So this is the whole regarding the data evaluations. But in here, when we go for the using machine learning and these things, so this every process when data evaluation is done, those data had been using to machine learning methods and some other advanced machine learning, artificial intelligence, those methodology to evaluate the data, what type of the data has been done. Now this is all about we talk about in the healthcare decision making. Now we're going to talk about some machine learning approaches. What are the machine learning approaches and what are the issues? So this section is going to next section. We're going to talk about machine learning approaches. So there's machine learning approaches and algorithms that are applied in the healthcare for the decision making will be used for the healthcare sector in various aspects, such as disease predictions, such as detections, medical imaging, medical biomedicine, and biomedical sorting. So these are the machine learning applications of the disease prediction, detection, imaging, machine learning, biomedicine, biomedical, event extraction, so on. So machine learning algorithm used to improve the efficiency of the algorithm with the objective to highlight the importance of scalable machine learning algorithms in the healthcare systems. So machine learning was also introduced to be computational biology till the peak it currently stands, which is the introduction of precision medicine and to find the biomedicine things related issues. So machine learning using the data analysis, learn from the data and continuously improve themselves and probability, do the predicting probability with the statistics things, with the logical statistics. So there's information, machine learning information, the machine learning had using or collecting the information to gather information gathered from the data set which is being given to the algorithm that call is feature, and the accuracy of prediction made by the model is dependent on quality of the features. What type of features we have access, we have received, those based on those feature extraction we gonna be make the model. We're gonna use that type of model to make it the accurate or high predictable results. So to detect the subset of features that could best fit for the purpose, increasing the accuracy of the models. So finding the subset of the features, not only the whole features, we're finding the more subset of the features, more specific features about the small cells accordingly, very small point of the features, and those gonna be extract things, and then we get it the more accurate results related things. So this machine learning algorithms that is continuously experiments should be carried out to be identify the said feature subset of the algorithm. When considering putting a machine learning algorithm, there are the 3 steps when we use the machine learning. The first is the training, testing and validations. First training, second testing, third validation. Training is important as the accuracy of result will be depending on the training data set. And using the test data set, the performance of the algorithm will be measured things. And a good machine learning algorithm must optimize the bias, variance and trade-offs. So used excessively for the clustering and classification purpose to using this machine learning algorithms. So here we talk about the machine learning algorithm had be focused, or we can say that work as a 3-step. First training, second testing, third validation. So let's see, what is the one by one, what is the training? Training is like, it comes from the outside of the medical field, just think about in your field, whatever you think, means if you find something, if I say that this is looks like a mouse, right? How do I know this is a mouse? Because in our mind has trained this shape and their structure, their shape, their features, and they are connected with the computer, then this is called the mouse, right? So that is we are trained with our brain has trained to the pre-trained things, like whenever we finding something, we see that things, okay, this is looks like this. So we get it the recognized, Okay, we recognize immediately. Okay, let's see another example. Like, if someone is asking to, what is your name? Right? Like someone is asking me that, what is your name? I just immediately say that, okay, my name is Madhusudan Singh, right? But how do I know these things? Because from the childhood, from the beginning, that means I got the trained like this way to my name is this. Whenever anyone call this name, then I will respond, right? So my mind has trained with this name, okay? So similar as if we ask that, okay, what course I am teaching? I said biohealthcare using machine learning. Why? Because I am already used to teaching that, giving the lecture on that specific courses, right? So these are called the training. Our mind, whatever is similar as you, when you are giving the response anything, that response your mind has processed, and you respond those according to what you process and according to what someone is asking to you. So you have trained your mind from the childhood to how do you behave, how do you speak, what is your name, what courses you are taken. So this is you train every day your mind, and you are upgrading things, right? Same thing we do with the machines. We asking anything, first we have trained to machine. We train the machine to be, what is this? What is the human looks like? How the dog look like? How a cat look like? So we already train that things. Okay. Next we are talking about testing. So now we have our trained machine. Next, when we want to be some result, we ask them to what type of testing is done. So we had provided, we given some new input. So when those input comes to front of the computer, they have processed, their computer brain has processed, okay, so I got it this, and what is the look like. He matched with the what previously we trained them, and once they matched to each other, and then after the matching they had to say that, okay, looks like this particular things. Like for example, we train to our machine, our computer, how to cat look like. Okay, next time when we give them to cat pictures to computer, so he extract the features and match those trained value with this input, and then after matching that, okay, the computer mentioned that, okay, this is looks like a cat. Okay, so that is we are going to be testing. That is called the testing process. And third, the validations. Validations is after the matching, after giving the output, we had to validate that output is getting the correct output, or just not just getting some different outputs. So if we are giving the cat picture and then we asking that computer respond that cat, that is okay. But if we give some complex picture where computer cannot do the feature extraction, what the feature extraction means? Feature extraction means they are giving to how to looks like cat eyes, how to looks like cat mouth, what the hairs of the cat, which color is the cat. So these are called the features. We have extracting things. Okay, so that is called to the those features extracting, and then we had validate that, okay, once we get the answers from the computer, and then we validate, okay, we giving the input of the cat and we get the output of the cat, then his computer works properly. Now comes back to our application field. We are applying same thing in the healthcare system, right? In a healthcare system, if we have a headache, those are something, if we cut it in our finger, okay, we go on the doctor and we put in these things to be front of camera. So front of camera, they can be recognized that, okay, there is the cut portions, and finding the features, how long and how depth that cut is there. So based on that picture, based on those their trained machine, based on their already previously trained that if it looks like blood, like this much is blood is coming, or that much is cutted, So that how can we identify to depth of the cut? So they already trained the machine. So front of that we just give them input and they start to the matching with those results. And based on those results, they have made the decision to how much you cut it, and he just help to doctor to find out that which medicine is the good for you. So they, according to that, they had done these things. So that is the validation, training, testing, and validation. So this whole machine learning process has based on this all basic 3 steps things. So that's all for this first session, and next session we're going to talk about our approaches, that is called supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning and those things. Okay, see you next session.